Hey everybody, what's up? It's Jasmine. Welcome back to another episode of A Girls Podcast with your host Jasmine Rule. That's me. Today we are not going to talk about any of the difficult things that we usually talk about on this podcast, namely my anxiety and depression. Instead, we're going to talk about a secret that I've been keeping from you guys. I haven't been keeping it from everyone, so you should know that it's just that I don't trust you. But now is the time to open up a little bit and maybe even get a little bit of advice, really, if any of you guys are professional croquet players. I am in August playing in the Swedish National Championships for golf croquet. Whoop whoop. So, many of you might not know what golf croquet is. But you've probably heard croquet, right? Like Alice in Wonderland, that movie, what's it called? Heathers. Yeah. Basically, croquet is a game where you have a mallet and you have four balls and you have some hoops. But as many sports have, there's different variations. So one variation is called golf croquet. And it's very, I would say, social. Everybody's on the field at the same time, hitting each other's balls away and things like that. There's another version of the game which is like less social. It's more about like you being on the field by yourself and playing different shots and like I would argue more sort of technique that's involved. But anyway, I'm playing golf croquet at the national level. And we're going to talk a little bit about preparation for it. But the thing I have to be careful of is that someone who's in the competition might watch this video. So I can't, talk about how I'm feeling about it or anything, because they could use that as a psychological tactic against me. So the only thing we're going to say is that we're definitely going to win in August. There's no way I'm coming second or third place. I'm going to take that gold. But we can talk about some other things. So first of all, croquet, how did I get into that? Why am I suddenly playing in the national championships? For me, I've been playing croquet since I was 15 or 16, something like that. So I started in school with 3 other friends. We needed 4 people to make it a good sort of practice session, basically. So we all got together and decided that we would try it out. There was one girl who was really interested in it. I guess, I think she was a bit she really loved all things French. So I think that piqued her interest. But anyway, so we started, and then there was all of us starting at the same level, but then a few of us pulled a bit forward and were ready to play tournaments and things like that. So started doing that, and that was really fun. I remember winning one of my first tournaments in Christchurch, and I won a trophy, but because I lived outside of Christchurch, I wasn't allowed to take the trophy home. Super gutting, but whatever. I've won many trophies ever since then, so nothing to cry over. But anyway, so since then, I've been really interested in improving and playing in tournaments, getting to know other people in croquet and everything like that. I've also played in the World Championships for women. I've played in that twice, and then I've played in the World Championships for the under-21s twice. So that means a total of 4 World Championships. Unfortunately, none of those being an open championships. But that's okay. We all got to start somewhere. So anyway, when I moved to Sweden, there was quite a lack of information about where to play croquet. And even now, when I did find where to play croquet, it took quite a while, and it was kind of difficult to find where to do it. But eventually I did make contact with a club here in Stockholm, which is actually quite a bit like it's really far away from where I live. It's a place called Vendelsö, so it's super far away. It takes me like an hour and a half to get there if I leave from my house, which is kind of gutting. But now that I've been not at work, it's been a lot easier to make the trip. But anyway, so the opportunity to play in the Nationals came up, and I thought to myself, oh no, I haven't put in time for summer holidays, which can be really difficult because if everybody wants to take holidays during the summertime, so if you don't put in really early on, then you won't get it. So I thought, man, I'm not going to be able to do it. And then also it's the weekend before I go to Hamburg, so I was really worried that it would just be too much. But then eventually I came to the decision that heck, I'll just do it, like whatever. So bam, playing in the Nationals. Just had to put my name in and then it was accepted. So that's how that all happened. And now I'm in training, I guess you would say. I mean, you would definitely say that. So for me, there are certain shots that I want to improve on. And then also the psychological aspect of playing in a tournament is it can be difficult. So it's really good to have like a routine, you know, to sort of calm yourself down, because I mean, if you're playing really well, you can get really excited, you know, like racing heartbeat and everything like that, but you really want to stay focused, so like practicing techniques to sort of calm yourself down and just focus, and most of all, like enjoy yourself, even if you're not playing super well, because even if you're not playing super well, you can learn a lot of new things, which is something that's really good about, I think, technical sports like croquet, is that you can get a lot from a tournament even if you're not playing at your best. So yeah, my coach kindly lent me this croquet book, which has some different scenarios that you can look at and sort of come to a conclusion about how you would play that out. And for the most part, I agreed with it, but some, I think there was at least one where I was like, I don't know. So we're going to take a little bit of a gander at that. Let's have a look. Tactics for best practice, in their opinion, right? So most of them, I was actually pleasantly surprised that I came to the same conclusion that they did. Because I do remember a time when I found that sort of decision making a little bit more difficult. But, let me make sure that I'm in the frame. But now, since getting back into croquet, so basically I've been like 5 years out of croquet, but now I'm getting back into it. I haven't found too much difficulty in picking it back up again. So let's see. Where was it? It was oh yeah, here it goes. Okay, example 15. Black is in the jaws of hoop 6, blue is in position, red can get black out of the jaws. So hopefully you guys can see that. We're looking at this one here. Now this obviously isn't a good technical drawing of how the hoops are laid out. So there's quite a bit of distance between hoop 6 and 7. But anyway, so they say, answer, blue could do one of the following, and there's 6 different options. Send red to the boundary, and block red from hitting black with the blue ball. Option 2, do a half jump and promote both blue and black through the hoop. Option 3, play a full jump and make the hoop. Terrible idea. Option 4, play a block between red and black. Option 5, just hit black through the hoop. Option 6, play a single ball shot at black to try and score the hoop with black, and in the same stroke gain a position near hoop 7. Which, to be fair, that isn't a bad option, that last one. But I thought of something, and it wasn't in the list, so that really shocked me. So my thought was that we could hit black through the hoop to a position where it blocks red from getting a straight shot to hoop 7, and in the same shot getting blue in a position where it also makes it difficult to yellow to get a good shot. But that wasn't even on the option. The closest option to that was just hit black through the hoop, but it's a much more technical shot, the one that I'm describing, than simply hitting black through the hoop. So that really surprised me, because the advantage that I was thinking of was that both red and yellow could potentially be hampered, which really puts them in a disadvantage for hoop 7, and even if it doesn't work out 100%, you could be forcing them to take like a really long position for the hoop. So that could be pretty good, but they didn't even talk about that, so I was feeling a little bit insecure about that, to be honest. Instead, they say most of these options come with an element of risk. The objective of golf croquet is to score points by making hoops, which makes option 5 appealing. However, option 5 being just hit black through the hoop. However, hitting black on the side gives you an advantage by gaining first position near hoop 7. If you remain unsure or in doubt, hit black in the middle. Try not to hamper blue's next turn by staying close to hoop 6. Ensure blue is hit hard enough to prevent this. So basically, they're advocating for option 6, which is to try and promote everything up to hoop 7. And yeah, I mean, you can do that, but I kind of thought my option was a little bit more interesting. So, a little bit of controversy I feel about that one. It'd be interesting to see what other people think about that. So I'm going to take it up with my coach and see what he thinks. I did think that it was strange that they didn't even mention it, because obviously, like, even if I pick an option that isn't a good option, they had been listing like bad options that you could do, but this one they just completely ignored, so I don't really know what's up with that. A bit of a critique on the other options. Playing a jump, like jumping your blue ball over the black ball to score the point, is like so stupid, because first of all, if you screw up the jump, like your angle's wrong and you miss the jump completely and black stays in the hoop, then red's going to get it out, blue's not going to be in a position for the hoop, so that's like the worst position possible. Second of all, let's say blue does make the shot and you jump over black. Well, now black is stuck in the hoop with no chance of getting up to hoop 7. I mean, you're basically just giving away hoop 7 and then like possibly even screwing yourself up for hoop 8. So that is like honestly the worst decision I've ever heard in my whole entire life. But they didn't pick that one, obviously, which is good. I'm not sure if there were any other ones that there was one where I didn't understand it, but it was to do with like these diagrams being so not like visually they're not correct, so it's difficult to make a decision about it. But yeah, so I've been reading that and I felt like my technique and decision making is doing pretty good. The other thing is that there's another guy in the club who's also going to be playing at the Nationals, which is very exciting. It's obviously helpful to have somebody that you know there. Thinking about my own ability, I'm pleasantly surprised at the things that I'm confident about, because this other guy, you know, not meaning to like rag on him or anything, but he oftentimes, like if we play doubles or anything, and I suggest a move or somebody else suggests a move, he doesn't necessarily see the the possibility of it. So I do feel like I have an advantage in terms of these sort of thought games. And then the other thing is that my ability to, I guess, count the angle of shots has been like incredibly, surprisingly good. So that has allowed me to get my ball in positions that other people aren't necessarily able to rely on, but I seem to be able to rely on it quite a lot. So that's a big plus, and I'm really excited. So I guess the last thing to do would be to show you guys my mallet so you know what I'm playing with. So here it is. Here is one of my mallets. This is my travel mallet. So basically, the one that I first bought, or like my mum first bought for me, it had a handle like this that was just a normal handle, right? And then I have like a mallet head. But this one, you can unlock it and twist it in half. So it's really good for traveling, and then obviously you take the mallet head off, so it becomes really compact. So this is why I have this one, but I have another one in New Zealand. My mallet head is quite a bit longer than what most people begin playing with, but I really like it, especially for getting stuck in the hoop or like just passing it a little bit. I'm always like, man, I'm definitely going to make that. So yeah, that's it. I will obviously have an update at the end of August with how the competition goes, but it might be a little bit delayed because obviously I'll be going off to Germany the week after. But yeah, I'm super excited. Wish me luck, everybody. If you want to know more about croquet, then I'll be happy to make a new video about it. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the podcast. I'll see you guys all next time. Hey,